Tanzania joined 20 other African countries in endorsing a communique called the Dar es Salaam Agenda for Action, which will require governments of these countries to support field epidemiology and laboratory training programs. More details on the story from our reporter, Roberto Cheng.
In a keynote address at the 4th AfriNet conference today in Dar es Salaam, Prime Minister Mizengo Pinda, who was the chief guest, said Africa bears significant portion of the global disease burden, which calls for concerted efforts to counter health challenges.
As you might be aware, during the year 1998, African countries adopted the World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa Strategy on Integrated Disease Surveillance to improve the national disease surveillance and public health response. However, there have been challenges for many of these countries, including Tanzania, to implement this strategy. Among the challenges is lack of adequate skilled personnel with applied field epidemiological as well as laboratory skills. As a result, outbreaks are detected late and control measures therefore come late, leading to loss of many lives of innocent people.
Earlier on, Health and Social Welfare Minister Dr. Haji Mponda said Tanzanian population is confronted by a host of epidemic-prone diseases whose effects can be curtailed by building strong human resource and capacity to monitor surveillance systems.
Since 1988, the Tanzania Ministry of Health and Social Welfare embarked on training frontline health workers in integrated disease surveillance and response, of which Tanzania is the first country in Africa to launch. This was through short courses on surveillance, outbreak investigation, and response. IDRSR is a strategy by the World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa to boost countries' ability to curb epidemics early and respond to them effectively through timely surveillance.
The program is unique in the sense that it has a short time for training in classes, and most of the time of the training is in the field. So 25% is classwork and 75% is field work. The field work is important because people have to incur the knowledge and skills, particularly in addressing the outbreak diseases.
Immigration authorities say Somali illegal migrants were capitalizing the more than 200-kilometer-long border between Tanzania and Kenya to enter in the country. Here are the details.
They warn that by using illegal bush routes to enter into the country, there's a possibility of the loophole also being used by Al-Shabaab fighters to infiltrate into the country. Both immigration officers at Mnamanga border post and nearby border villages admit on the problem, which needs serious attention by the government and people at large. Somali illegal migrants use illegal routes, walking on foot or using other means to reach Hai, Logido, Arumeru and Monduli districts, where they get organized transport to take them to other areas of the country en route to South Africa.
Head of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Tanzania, Northern Diocese Bishop Dr. Thomas Liza says peace and stability in Tanzania will prevail if justice is done to each person. Here is the report.
He was speaking at a function to raise funds for rehabilitation of Nchara Lutheran Parish in High District, Kilimanjaro region, which also coincided with the celebrations to mark the 50th birthday of the main opposition Chadema party leader Freeman Mbowe. A total of 200 billion shillings was raised at the function, jointly coordinated by Mr. Mbowe and IPP Executive Chairman Reginald Mengi, who mobilized people to contribute for rehabilitation of the parish as part of thanksgiving to God. On his part, Mr. Mbowe, who is also High Member of Parliament, said he was accompanied by a group of his parliamentary colleagues to join him in the fundraising for the church and construction of a mosque in the area, which they have so far raised 30 million shillings. Deputy Minister for Regional Administration and Local Governments, Agre Mwandri, who is also chairperson of Members of Parliament in Kilimanjaro region, said people in Tanzania must thank God for maintaining peace in all 50 years of independence.
A non-governmental organization, Youth Self-Employment Foundation, YOSEFA, has given 225 paddy farmers neighboring a mill of Kilombero Plantations Limited KPL in Morogoro region loans of 107 million shillings to buy inputs to raise production. Here is the report.
The foundation's director, Altemius Milinga, says the loans will be sustainable for 5 years consecutively to help farmers around the paddy mill of KPL benefit expertism from the company on acceptable international standards of paddy farming. Farmers who were given the loans said expertism they have gained, availability of agriculture inputs, and loans will help them raise productivity for poverty alleviation.
The government has been urged to provide working tools on credit basis to skilled orphans who graduate from vocational training colleges in order to facilitate self-employment. Here are the details.
Orphans who graduated at Moshi-based vocational training college say the major problem facing them after gaining skills through sponsorship by donors is lack of working tools. This has forced most of them to find employment elsewhere, but if they had working tools, they could start immediately working on their own through self-employment. Director of Kombozi Vocational Training College, Asham Shana, said they provide vocational and entrepreneurship training to enable youth employ themselves.
Residents of Makanya village in Handeni district, Tanga region, have started construction of a primary school for their 400 children currently studying at Mzeri School, located 5 kilometers from their village. Here is more on the report.
Makanya village chairman Rashid Mhina and his executive officer Muhaji Mlaki said to achieve the objective, villagers have started contributions to buy cement and bricks. This is in addition to volunteering to extract building materials such as quarries and collection of sand for construction of their school.
That's the end of national news. Africa follows after the break.